Heat wave warning, 5 simple mistakes that can kill you. If you're over 50, don't assume you're safe just because you're staying indoors. There's something important you need to know. Research shows that thousands of people around the world die from heat-related illness each year, and older adults are among the groups at greatest risk. What surprises many people is that these emergencies often happen inside the home, not while working outside in the sun. I'm Dr. Temmy Taylor, and I help adults understand the science of healthy aging in simple, practical ways. Today, I'll show you 5 common mistakes that research suggests can greatly increase your risk during a heat wave. More importantly, you'll learn easy steps that may help protect your health and the health of those you love. Please stay with me until mistake number 1 because it is the most common of all, yet many people never realize how dangerous it can become. Let's first understand why hot weather affects the body differently after 50. Your body has a built-in cooling system. When you get too warm, you sweat, and your blood carries heat toward your skin so it can escape. This system works well when everything is working properly, but it becomes less effective as we get older. Research suggests that many adults over 50 sweat less, lose fluids more easily, and may take medications that affect how the body responds to heat. These changes can make even a normal summer day feel much harder on the body. This completely changes the picture. Heat-related illness is often not caused by one big mistake. Instead, it usually develops through several small habits that seem harmless on their own. In today's countdown, we'll look at 5 of the most common ones and, more importantly, the simple changes that may help you stay safe, active, and independent during the hottest days of the year. Before we begin the countdown, it helps to understand why heat affects the body differently as we get older. Your body has a natural cooling system that works much like the cooling system in a car. When your body temperature rises, your brain tells your sweat glands to produce sweat. As that sweat evaporates from your skin, it carries heat away. At the same time, your blood vessels widen, allowing more blood to flow near the surface of your skin. This helps release extra heat and keeps your body at a safe temperature. As we age, this cooling system does not always work as well as it once did. Research suggests that many adults over 50 produce less sweat, even when the weather is very hot. Blood circulation may also become slower, making it harder for heat to move from the inside of the body to the skin. On top of that, some common medications, including certain medicines for blood pressure, heart conditions, allergies, or depression, may affect sweating, hydration, or the body's ability to respond to heat. If you take prescription medications, it is worth asking your doctor or pharmacist whether hot weather requires any extra precautions. These changes mean that even temperatures that once felt comfortable may place more stress on your body today. What feels like a warm afternoon can slowly lead to dehydration, heat exhaustion, or, in severe cases, heat stroke if the warning signs are missed. Research consistently shows that adults over 50 are more likely to experience serious heat-related illness during periods of extreme heat. The important thing to remember is that heat illness usually does not happen all at once. It often develops through several small mistakes that build on each other throughout the day. Waiting too long to drink water, staying in a hot room, taking certain medications without extra care, or ignoring early symptoms may not seem serious by themselves. Together, however, they can place your body under much more strain than you realize. That is the mental picture I want you to keep in mind as we go through today's countdown. We are not looking for one dramatic mistake. We are looking for the small everyday habits that quietly increase risk. Stay with me until the final mistake because it catches many careful people by surprise, and understanding it may help protect you or someone you love during the next heat wave. Let's begin with the mistake I see more often than almost any other. The first mistake is waiting until you feel thirsty before drinking water. It sounds reasonable because thirst seems like your body's way of telling you it needs more fluids. But after the age of 50, that signal becomes less dependable than many people realize. The reason is surprisingly simple. As we get older, the part of the brain that controls thirst becomes less sensitive. This means your body may already be low on water before you notice you are thirsty. During a heat wave, you can lose even more fluids through sweat, even if you do not feel hot or notice your clothing becoming wet. Research suggests that dehydration is one of the leading reasons older adults develop heat-related illness. Water helps your blood carry oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. It also helps control body temperature by allowing you to sweat and cool down. When you do not have enough water, your heart has to work harder, your body has more trouble getting rid of heat, and your risk of overheating begins to rise. At first, the signs may seem mild. You might feel more tired than usual or develop a headache that does not seem to have a clear cause. Some people become dizzy when they stand up. Others find it harder to concentrate or begin to feel confused. If dehydration continues, it may lead to heat exhaustion, which is much more serious and often requires medical attention. Imagine an older adult spending the afternoon at home during a heat wave. They are reading, watching television, or doing small chores. Because they do not feel thirsty, they never stop for a glass of water. By late afternoon, they feel weak and lightheaded. They think it is just the heat, but in reality, their body has been slowly losing the fluids it needs to stay cool. The good news is that this mistake is easy to prevent. Instead of waiting for thirst, drink small amounts of water regularly throughout the day. Keep a bottle or glass nearby as a reminder. If your doctor has placed you on a fluid restriction because of a medical condition, be sure to follow their advice. But staying hydrated isn't enough if your home stays too hot. The second mistake is keeping your windows closed without finding a safe way to cool your home. Many people believe that staying indoors is enough to protect them during a heat wave. While staying out of direct sunlight is often a good idea, being inside does not always mean you are safe. The reason is that heat can build up indoors much faster than many people expect. During several hot days in a row, your home can slowly absorb heat from the sun. If that heat has nowhere to escape, indoor temperatures may continue to rise throughout the day. In some homes, especially those without air conditioning, the temperature may remain high well into the evening. This gives your body very little chance to cool down and recover. Research suggests that many serious heat-related illnesses happen inside homes that become too warm. When your body stays in a hot environment for many hours, it must work much harder to keep your temperature under control. Your heart beats faster to move more blood toward your skin, and you continue to lose fluids through sweat. Over time, this extra strain may increase the risk of heat exhaustion, especially in older adults. You may first notice that you are sleeping poorly because your bedroom never cools down. The next day, you wake up feeling tired and uncomfortable. As the heat continues, you may become weak, lightheaded, or short of breath. These are signs that your body is working harder than it should. Imagine an older adult who stays inside all day because they want to avoid the heat outdoors. They keep the windows closed and do not realize that their apartment has become even hotter than the temperature outside. By late afternoon, they feel exhausted and dizzy, even though they never stepped into the sun. The safest approach is to keep your living space as cool as possible. If you have air conditioning, use it during very hot weather. A fan may help you feel more comfortable in some situations, but during extreme heat it may not be enough on its own. If your home remains dangerously hot, consider spending time at a designated cooling center, library, shopping mall, or another air-conditioned public building until temperatures become safer. The next mistake surprises many people because it involves something they take every day. If you're still watching, thank you for spending this time with me. My goal is to help you understand the science of healthy aging in a simple and practical way. If you enjoy evidence-based health advice like this, please consider subscribing so you don't miss future videos. I also have a free heat safety checklist with easy tips to help you prepare for hot weather and protect yourself and your loved ones. You can find it in the description below. Now, let's continue the countdown because the next mistake catches many people by surprise. The third mistake is assuming your medications affect your body the same way during a heat wave as they do the rest of the year. Many people take their daily medicines without realizing that some of them may change how the body handles heat. This is not because the medicines are unsafe. It is because hot weather places extra stress on the body. Most people are never told that certain medications may increase heat sensitivity. Some medicines can reduce sweating, making it harder for your body to cool itself. Others may increase fluid loss or lower blood pressure. During very hot weather, these effects can make it more difficult to stay cool and hydrated. Research suggests that several common types of medication, including some used to treat high blood pressure, heart disease, allergies, depression, and fluid retention, may increase the risk of heat-related illness in some people. This does not mean you should stop taking your medicine. In fact, stopping a prescribed medication without medical advice can be dangerous. The important point is to understand how heat may change your body's response. You may notice the effects in simple everyday situations. A short walk to the mailbox or the grocery store may leave you feeling dizzy or unusually tired. Some people become lightheaded when they stand up, while others may become dehydrated more quickly than they expect. If these warning signs are ignored, they may lead to heat exhaustion. Imagine an older adult taking a morning walk they have enjoyed for years. On a very hot day, they suddenly feel weak and unsteady after only a few minutes. The walk has not changed, but the combination of high temperatures and their medication has placed more strain on their body than usual. The safest step is to talk with your doctor or pharmacist before or during the hot season. Ask whether any of your medications require extra care during extreme heat and whether you should take additional steps to stay hydrated or avoid the hottest parts of the day. A simple conversation may help you stay safe while continuing to take your medicines as prescribed. Now let's look at a mistake that often happens during the hottest part of the day. The fourth mistake is doing outdoor chores during the hottest part of the day. Many people use the afternoon to mow the lawn, work in the garden, wash the car, or take a long walk. They simply want to finish their tasks while there is still plenty of daylight. Unfortunately, this is often when the heat is most dangerous. The reason is that your body's cooling system has limits. During extreme heat, your body works harder to release extra warmth through sweating and increased blood flow to the skin. When the air is very hot, especially if it is also humid, this cooling process becomes much less effective. Heat begins to build up faster than your body can remove it. Research suggests that the risk of heat exhaustion rises during the hottest hours of the day, usually from late morning through the afternoon. Physical activity adds even more heat to your body, making it much easier to become overheated. This is especially important for adults over 50, whose cooling system may not respond as quickly as it did in earlier years. At first, you may notice heavy sweating, tired muscles, or a feeling of weakness. Some people develop painful heat cramps, while others begin to feel dizzy or sick to their stomach. If these warning signs are ignored, the condition may progress to heatstroke, which is a medical emergency that requires immediate care. Imagine someone spending an hour pulling weeds in the garden on a hot afternoon. They feel determined to finish the job, so they keep going despite feeling tired. By the time they stop, they are weak, confused, and struggling to cool down. What started as a simple chore has become a serious health risk. A safer approach is to plan outdoor activities during the cooler hours of the morning or later in the evening whenever possible. Wear light, loose-fitting clothing, take regular breaks in the shade, and drink water throughout the activity. If the heat feels overwhelming, it is perfectly reasonable to postpone the task until the weather is cooler. And finally, the mistake that often turns a manageable situation into a medical emergency. The fifth and final mistake is ignoring the early warning signs of heat illness. Many people believe that feeling a little tired, dizzy, or weak is just part of being outside on a hot day. They assume the feeling will pass if they sit down for a few minutes. Unfortunately, heat illness often does not improve on its own. If it is ignored, it can become much more serious. The reason is that heat illness usually develops gradually. It often begins with dehydration. As your body loses more water, it becomes harder to cool itself. If your body temperature continues to rise, dehydration can lead to heat exhaustion. Without quick action, heat exhaustion may progress to heat stroke, which is a life-threatening medical emergency. Research shows that the early signs of heat illness are often easy to miss because they seem mild at first. You may feel unusually tired, develop a headache, or become lightheaded. As the condition becomes more serious, confusion may appear. Some people faint because their body can no longer keep their blood pressure and temperature under control. If heat stroke develops, it can damage important organs such as the brain, heart, and kidneys, and immediate emergency medical care is needed. Imagine someone walking home on a hot afternoon. They begin to feel dizzy but decide to keep going because they are only a few minutes from home. A short time later, they become confused and collapse before reaching their front door. What started as a small warning sign became a medical emergency because the body was asking for help long before it could no longer cope. If you notice early signs of heat illness, do not ignore them. Move to a cool place as soon as possible. If it is safe and appropriate for you, drink water or another suitable fluid. Loosen tight clothing and use cool, wet towels or cool water to help lower your body temperature. If symptoms get worse or include confusion, fainting, loss of consciousness, or seizures, seek emergency medical care immediately. So what should you remember whenever the next heat wave arrives? As we come to the end of today's video, let's quickly review the 5 mistakes that can quietly increase your risk during a heat wave. Waiting until you feel thirsty to drink water, allowing your home to become too hot, overlooking how certain medications affect your body's response to heat, doing outdoor chores during the hottest part of the day, and ignoring the early warning signs of heat illness. Each of these habits may seem small on its own, but together they can place a great deal of stress on your body. The encouraging news is that most heat-related emergencies can be reduced with simple planning and small daily choices. Heat safety is not about being afraid of warm weather. It is about understanding how your body changes with age and making a few practical adjustments before problems begin. Small habits, repeated every day, can make a meaningful difference. Rather than trying to change everything at once, choose just one heat safety habit to practice today. It might be filling a water bottle before you leave the house, checking that your living space stays cool, or planning outdoor activities during the cooler hours of the day. One small action is often the first step toward building a safer routine. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 mistakes surprised you the most? What do you do to stay safe during a heat wave? Please share your thoughts and tips in the comments below. Your experience may help someone else protect their health this summer. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend, neighbor, or family member over 50. A simple share could help someone recognize a warning sign before it becomes an emergency. Finally, remember that this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for personalized medical advice. If you have questions about your medications or health conditions, speak with your healthcare provider. If you or someone else develops severe symptoms such as confusion, loss of consciousness, seizures, or signs of heat stroke, seek emergency medical care immediately. Kindly subscribe to my channel for more educating and informing videos. Thank you.